All right, here we go with plagiarism and citations. So when I had you organize your cards, you picked 2 cards that you put stars on that were cards that the only way that you could say that information, or the best way, was by using the exact words. Those are called direct quotes. You can only do that twice in your paper. They should be the best cards you have, the best quotes that you have, something like that. Okay, so those are direct quotes. The rest of your paper is going to be written by paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means putting things into your own words. Paraphrasing, when you do that, you're taking somebody else's ideas, but you're putting them into your own words. Both of these things that you do, paraphrase and direct quote, have to be cited. If you don't cite them, it's plagiarism. Plagiarism simply means taking somebody else's ideas and pretending that they're yours. You can't do that. So if the information is coming from one of your cards, you have to do a citation. So let me show you on this document how you do that. So we have our topic, sentence, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So now we're going to make a statement. Make a statement of our own. My topic's abortion, so I'm going to make the statement that there are way too many abortions performed every year. All right, so now we're going to pretend that I have this card here. It's my card number 1. It's the first thing I want to talk about. It's the first piece of information I'm going to use. It's not my starred card. It's not the one that I'm going to use the direct words. So I have to put this, whatever it says here, I have to put it into my own words. So let's pretend that my information said that in 2018, there were 15,674 abortions in the United States. Okay, that's my information. Where's my camera? There we go. In 2018, 15,674 abortions were performed in the United States. I forgot the words were performed. Were performed. Okay, so now I have to take this information and I want to put it into my paragraph. There are way too many abortions performed every year. Some of this stuff you can't really change. It's really hard to change the United States. You can't change the number, 15,674. You can't really change abortions. I mean, that's the word. You can't change 2018, but you can use a different thing than were performed. You can put things into a different order. You can state them a little bit differently. So let's try this. So my statement was, there are way too many abortions performed every year. In fact, or just in 2018, there were, nope, that's what my thing said. Just in 2018, 15,000, I don't like that with the numbers together. Statistics show that 15,674 women had abortions just in 2018. Okay, so my card said 2018, 15,674 abortions were performed in the United States. So I should add that this was a US thing. Statistics show that 15,674 women in the United States had abortions just in 2018. That's pretty good. That statistic had a lot of information, a lot of stuff that couldn't be changed because it was mostly just numbers. So I did change it up by saying, women in the United States had abortions instead of abortions were performed. Now, because it's information that came from this card, I have to tell where I got it from. And the way to do that, it's so easy. All you have to do is put a parenthesis, and then you put whatever was the first, where's my camera? Whatever was the first word that you put up here in the corner, which for me, it's the word abortion in quotation marks because it was the first word of the title of an article or the title of a website or whatever. Quotation marks, abortion, quotation mark. Just the first word. You don't put the entire title. You don't have to put the entire citation. You just have to put the first word. So I'm going to do it just like that. It's in quotation marks. So I'm going to put abortion, quotation marks, parenthesis, and the period goes on the outside. 2 spaces, and now I can go on to commenting on that or to putting some more information. Okay. Maybe I have another card that says that just a minute. I'm making a card. Okay, let's pretend that I have this information here. Camera. 57% of abortions were performed on women ages 18 to 24. Okay, that's my next one. It's a number 2. It was the next thing that I wanted to talk about. If I'm going to leave this idea of total number of women that had them and go to this part, there's got to be some transition of my own thinking, of my own talking. So, first I'm going to comment on this 15,000. I already said there's way too many performed every year. So that means that 15,674 babies were killed. When just that one word is changed, the number becomes even more disgusting. Okay. When just that one word is changed, the number becomes even more disgusting. Killing innocent babies is not right. Okay, so what I'm thinking of here is how I've got the I've given the statistic. I have provided the I've provided my own commentary on it. Now I want to transition into this next one of 57% were on women ages 18 to 24. So I need to transition with a statement before I can do that. Let's see. These are adult women who are making the decision to end the life of their child. And the statistic was 57%. So I'm going to say that I need to make this so that it's, sorry, I'm trying to get organized a little bit here. I need to make this so that I can change that card so that I'm not plagiarizing. 57% is almost 60%. So I'm going to go ahead and say almost 60% to change that up. So almost, and remember, I have to write out words that are less than 100. So almost 60% of these abortions were done on women ages, oh, I can't spell, 18 through, what were they? 24. 20-4 years old. These women are old enough to know right from wrong. Maybe in my next card, I have a statistic. Well, first of all, I just almost made a huge mistake. I have to make sure that I cite this piece of information, right? Because this is a statistic. This is something I learned from a card, so I have to cite it. So I go back, take off this period. This statement was my own. They're old enough to know right from wrong. Over here, 24 years old. I'm going to take off that period, put a space, put the parenthesis, and then I keep putting it over here, and then put the first word of the source, which was ways, in quotation marks. So I put quotation marks, ways, quotation mark, parenthesis, period, and then I have my space for my next sentence. And then this is my comment. These women are old enough to know right from wrong. Now I have another card, and this card's going to talk about how 23% were performed on women ages 30 to 40 who had previous children. Okay, this is my statistic. 23% of abortions were performed on 30 to 40-year-olds who had previous children. So I'm going to lead into this statement. These women are old enough to know right from wrong. And I'm going to say, even worse, comma, there are women who already have children that get abortions. In fact, not in face, in fact, comma, now I gotta put this into my own words, remember, 23%, 30 to 40 years old who had previous children. We can take 23%, we can use it just like that. 20-3% of all abortions are done by women who are between 30 and 40 years old. "30, 40 years old." And I can split this into two sentences. These women have already started their families, are now pregnant again, and decide for some reason to abort the current baby. We'll call it a fetus. I've used baby a lot. These women have already started their families, are pregnant again, but decide for some reason to abort the current fetus they are carrying. Now, I wrote two sentences. It's all based off of this one card. And the source, there's the issue. The source is, the first word was Smith. So this was the author, apparently, because that's what it is. There's no quotation marks around it, so I'm going to write it just like that, which means I put parenthesis, wrong way, parenthesis, Smith, parenthesis, period. This is unbelievable. What else can I say? I can't just end it like that. Let's go back to my topic sentence because I want to show you what my topic sentence should look like. So if I'm going to talk about in this paragraph the number of abortions that are performed, and I'm talking about who has them, that's what my topic sentence needs to be about. And so I'm going to talk in my topic sentence, I'm going to say something like, every year, how about this? Abortion seems to be the way many people decide to deal with an unwanted pregnancy. Okay? Many people means I'm going to talk about how many. Unwanted means those people who are pregnant and didn't want to be pregnant. Many people, I got to get something in here that's going to reference the ages. Many people, comma, of all ages. Abortion seems to be the way many people of all ages decide to deal with an unwanted pregnancy. Okay, that tells the reader I'm going to talk about many people, the number of people who get abortions, of all ages means I'm going to talk about the age groups decide to deal with an unwanted pregnancy. Okay, so I've covered the information that I have in this paragraph. So they're pregnant again, for some reason abort the current fetus that they are carrying. This is unbelievable. To look at a living child in the family and to be willing to kill his or her sibling I'm going to change this. This is unbelievable that someone could look at a living child in the family and be willing to kill his or her sibling. These numbers are out of control. That right there is my closing sentence. My closing is that these numbers are out of control. These numbers, the number that are killed, the number of people, no matter their ages, that are doing this, it's out of control. That's my paragraph. Okay. And I've shown you how to cite all of those paraphrases. So up here, we had a paraphrase, put it into my own words, parenthesis, the first word, parenthesis, period. That's always the process. I put some of my own commentary and I lead into my next piece of information. I paraphrase it into my own words. Again, parenthesis, first word, parenthesis, period. I comment in my own information. I get down here. I used 2 sentences to cover this information. I can wait until I'm done with those sentences to give the citation, even though there's 2 of them. As your teacher, I will look at that and go, okay, those 2 sentences, the information is from this source of Smith. And then there's a comment after it. It's unbelievable, blah, blah, blah. And these numbers are out of control. Notice how long my paragraph is. I've got 3 citations in there. I've talked about each one of them. That's exactly what your paragraph should look like. All right. So that is an example of how to paraphrase. I'm going to stop this video and make a different one on how to do a direct quote.